Good afternoon and welcome to this webinar on Thailand Cosmetic market. Today we will go beyond the regulatory, giving you a practical guide to sell cosmetic in Thailand. Thailand is the more advanced country in ASEAN related to cosmetics. Thailand market dominance is due to three main factors. One is the increasing available income of middle and high class. The second is the strong demand for consumer goods. The third is the growth of e-commerce channels and ease of e-payments. So we can be sure that today we won't waste time, even if not exactly easy to penetrate. Our first question is, how big is our market? We will start our journey from the academic data, usually showed by institution and passed and copied by all the websites. You can find such data everywhere, with some discrepancy, but basically credible. The matter is, those data are not telling the story we want to know. Let's make an example. This picture is the value of cosmetic market in $1 million by revenue. Until 2021, it's based on real data. For 2022 to 2024, it's just a projection. The source is Statista, a well-known research platform selling data about everything. So, cosmetic market is said to be worth in 2021 $4.25 billion. At the exchange rate of 2021, the gross value of cosmetic market was 140 billion Thai baht, and it seems to be constantly growing. Just as note, exchange rate dollar with Thai baht changed quite drastically in the last year. In 2021, it was $1 33 Thai baht. In 2022, $1 is 36 baht on average. Today, we want to try something more detailed and more focused on ourselves. Let me explain. In these figures are included all sectors: manufacturing, retail, and import. Since I suppose we are all importers and only importers, we need to know the real numbers related to our sector. How we can get them? Directly from the source. Let's talk about Harmonized System or HS code. The Harmonized System is an internationally accepted product classification system. The HS code consists of 6 digits that can be broken down into 3 parts. The first 2 digits identify the chapter in which the goods are classified. The next 2 digits identify headings within that chapter. The last 2 digits identify the subheading and even more specific. The first 6 digits of HS codes are usually the same worldwide. Countries can add additional numbers for their own purposes. Those longer codes can differ among nations. Let's see now an example using the Thai custom website. We enter in the website, we switch the language into English, and we type the first 4 digits of a HS code. 3304 is the common HS code of beauty or makeup preparation. Now we see all the list of the products that are classified under this HS code. Now we can see for this code what is the duty rate, that is in this case 30%, and clicking on the right side, what is the licensor, that in this case is Food and Drug Administration. Let's analyze now the real data from Thai Custom to verify the value of the market. In our case, we use the chapter 33 that is used for most of cosmetic products. Then we use heading 0 to 07. Heading 01 is mainly about essential oils and extract. 02 is about aromas and raw materials for cosmetic industry. 03 is related with the perfumes and toilet waters. 04 is about finish, skincare, beauty and makeup products. The number 5 is about hair care, 6 is about dental care and mouth hygiene, and 07 includes different products like shaving products, deodorants, toilet preparation. This is of course not including some specific products like tools for cosmetic, nearly 500 million Thai baht market, soaps, that are included in HS code in chapter 34 related to detergents, whose total import is around 2 billion Thai baht, and a borderline product like a hygienic tampon that are considered cosmetic but under an HS code related with medical device. This product alone in import worth 2 billion Thai baht per year. Now that we know the method, let's take a look at the result. This is our first elaboration. The source is Thai custom, of course, but data have been processed by our staff. The table reports the data of cosmetic import in last 4 years. 2022 is related to the end of May, since the Ministry of Commerce takes more than 1 month to validate the data before publishing. But comparing this year's data with the last normal year, that was 2019, we can see that after 2 years of market contraction, the imports are returning to normal level of pre-pandemic years. What we can see at first in the last line in dark blue is the total import by year. Total import for our HS codes were around 63 to 65 billion Thai baht in pre-pandemic, that dropped to 48 billion during pandemic. The post-pandemic just started is giving sign of normalization with an estimate of 60 or 66 billion Thai baht for the current year 2022. According to what we said before, we should consider the 48 billion baht value in 2021 as roughly 1.5 billion US dollar. That may sound low compared with the estimated value of 4.5 billion calculated on revenues. But if we have to consider the commercial margin, so we can grow to double this amount, and the rest is supposedly local manufacturer. Cosmetic import reduced from 65 billion Thai baht in 2019 to 47 billion in 2021. This year, I would bet on a final target of 66 billion, but a 60 billion figure should be already satisfactory. If we look at the detail per product, we can have some surprise. Where the market totally collapsed is in the makeup sector, more than 50% reduction, and in perfumes, 70% reduction. It sounds obvious that this is a direct consequence of lockdown, smart working, mask wearing policy, while other products as deodorants and raw materials are keeping pre-pandemic numbers. That means that the market is still alive and kicking. Summarizing the results, if we consider only the import sector, skincare has a total share of 42%. Skincare is makeup and creams. Hair care has a 4%. Soap are, as mentioned, not included in our statistic, but have a value of 4.3 by value, around 2 billion baht. According to statista.com, just to match the data, the largest product segments are skincare, 42%, that is matching, and other segments are numerically not matching with our results. Hair products is 15%, soap and hygiene 14%, oral and dental care 12%, and makeup 12%. You may consider the data you prefer, we are only giving you a different point of view. Another surprise comes from the data by country. Here we consolidated the import in last 4 years by country of origin. Then we created a ranking of first 20 importers in Thailand. Here we can see their history from 2018 to 2022. Surprisingly, Singapore has a 25% market share, did not lose any revenue during pandemic. Indonesia, Korea, India, Taiwan, Vietnam as well seems to have been slightly affected by the geopolitical situation. On the opposite side, European countries lost huge market shares. Probably some quota moved to Singapore as a transit trading, but the conclusion I will get from this table is that market is moving and restructuring itself. In such period, there are some spaces for new products. Last first-hand data before going back to traditional sources, export versus import. As we have seen, Thailand is importing raw materials and, as we know, is a manufacturing country of cosmetic products. In this table we can see the comparison between import with CIF value and export with FOB values. It sounds evident that in case of hair care products, Thailand is a strong exporter, as well as product for oral hygiene, makeup is substantially balanced, while there is a strong imbalance toward import of essential oil and raw materials. In any case, this is not a data but a daily observation. Thailand market is looking at the strong appeal of imported products, perceived by consumer as a high quality and more effective than locally made. Thailand is effectively exporting its cosmetic products only in countries with a free trade agreement. First destinations are Japan, Philippines, Hong Kong, Australia, Vietnam. Now that we know the size of our market, we need to find the right entry strategy. The first question is how we choose our entry strategy. It mainly depends on these factors: the product, the target, the budget, and the time you have at your availability. Basically, it depends on you. Our scope here is to give you information and tools to help you to understand your opportunities in Thailand. You might contact us anytime to get more information, and I remind you this webinar shall be published and available for download soon. We have several channels to sell our product in Thailand. The macro categories are offline and online. In offline, we have the wholesale, the retail, business to consumer, the direct sale, that can be multi-level, consumer to consumer, and in online, we have the retail, direct to consumer, through your website, any marketplace, that is social media and platform, that is a business to consumer, and the direct marketing, that is again multi-level, consumer to consumer. Who are the major players online and offline in Thailand? In social online, we have, as usual, Facebook, Line, Instagram, and TikTok. As platform online, we have Shopee, Lazada, JD Central, and then we have a series of network online. The most famous are Boots, Watson, Even Boy. This network sells both in their shops, physically, and online via their official websites. Please don't forget that Thai consumers has a prudent purchasing behavior, so they will be mainly buy from official e-brand shop. Who are the offline players? Offline players are several. We can see in this picture the main cosmetic shops and networks divided by sector. We divided in department stores, specialty stores, supermarkets, convenience stores, and e-commerce. And as last, all the pharmacy networks here. Practically all of them sell cosmetics, both online and offline, like for example Boots and Watson. Do we need a license to sell online? Normally yes. Who sell online via his own website, direct to consumer, is subject to the e-commerce license. Who sell under multi-level scheme is subject to direct sales or direct marketing license. Who sells in an offline shop is subject to retail license. The import is regulated directly by Thai FDA. The import license is required. Last, selling through social and platform is not regulated by license, but the platforms are obliged to ask an FDA license to the importer or to the seller in case of cosmetic products. We will see later the details on cosmetic license in the section dedicated to regulatory. Now we want to give you a business case of a foreign entrepreneur who opened in 2020 his activity in Thailand. We met Mr. Guo, CEO of William Trade and Commerce, a few days ago in his company in Bangkok. Let's see the video.
In my opinion, have three channels. The first one is a distributor to do 2B business, is a wholesale. So if like this channel, you can find some distributor to take care of your brand and your product and help you to bring your product to marketplace. But this channel have a disadvantage is you will decrease the profit because you must let your distributor to gain some profit share profit with your distributor. And the second one is open a company to open an offline shop by yourself. So you sell by yourself, and so this is more complicated. For example, the first step, you must find a good location, and then you must hire some staff to make some shop decoration to get more engagement with your target. So I think that this is in this time is not a good choice because cost is more higher. So the third one is to do e-commerce. Is means sales online. So we do e-commerce have a separate for many different channel and branch. So the first channel is a social media channel, like for example Facebook and IG and TikTok. This is called the social media channel. This kind of channel can gain more brand awareness to build your brand online and then let more people know your brand to make engagement online. And the second is a sales platform, for example, like Shopee, Lazada, JD Central, this sales platform to focus on sale and promotion. The advantage is you can get some traffic from sales platform. They will provide you some customer, more easy to sell. But the disadvantage is the traffic is come from a platform. It's not belong to yourself. Also, right now, a sales platform will hide some customer information, so you cannot engage with your customer very well. This is a disadvantage. And the third part is build your brand website by yourself. So you can use some websites builder website build method online. For example, Shopify, Wix, and then you can build your website very fast. But the problem is the disadvantage is you cannot change customers' habits, because right now in Thailand area, customers' purchase habit is more focused on the third-party platform like the Shopee, Lazada. So, but for long time, we can use your website to build brand awareness and become more build more trust for your target customer. Then they will move to your website and get engaged with you on your website.
So Dylan, summarizing, you choose for your experience to use first the social market, then you also use the e-marketplace in order to create your brand and promote your website. Is that correct?
Yes. So
how long it takes?
Right now, I think in the beginning we from Shopee and Lazada. Shopee is more easier than Lazada, in my opinion. So in the beginning, we try to on Facebook to build our brand awareness, and then we try to get more sales on Shopee, and anything will become easier. And since last year, July, we start to build our brand and the brand website. So right now, through Facebook and can link with our website and anything. Now it's going better, but you have to do Google SEO, SEM. That is not an easy things, very complicated, and also need time. Then your website will show on Google search results.
Okay, Dylan, following your experience, what is the best advice you could give to someone, some manufacturer who wants to open the market in Thailand with their products?
In my opinion, for a new brand want to enter Thailand market is not an easy thing, because you don't understand the local market situation, and have many risks is cannot prevent. So I think the best solution is to go to find some experienced agency can take care of your brand from the beginning, like help you to bring your products to Thailand market. For example, if you sell, for myself, like I sell supplements and cosmetic, these kind of products need to register Thailand FDA. So this is a big problem and also a big problem for me. So I must find solution. If nobody help me to do these things, I think for myself is a very difficult part. About language, about culture, about marketing situation, also supply chain fulfillment. I think many problem I have to find solution to deal with. So I think in the beginning we better find a guide to help you to bring your products entry success entry Thai market, and then after your products build some brand awareness, get some customer engagement, and then you can try to do other part of job, like for example find some distributor, or if you want or have an investment budget enough, you can try to build a offline shop by yourself too.
Okay, Dylan, thank you for your precious advice, and thank you for joining our webinar.
Thank you, you are welcome.
Summarizing, and according to Mr. Guo's experience, the smartest strategy for a startup is to sell online through third-party marketplace with or without a local unit, in his case with. Both cases are possible. Creating brand awareness for a couple of years and then considering to switch to offline through a distributor that already will be more engaged since your products are already popular and sold in Thailand, or through your own shop. That's all about the market. Let's focus now on operations. How we can import, store and deliver the products. How we can deliver the product in Thailand. The first case is a cross-border. If you are planning the cross-border commerce, this is not your field, but be warned that you will need to register your product in Thai FDA in any case. Why? First, because of consumer safety. Product must be notified so that the quality standards of the manufacturer are verified and traceable. The second reason is that platforms are obliged to ask the seller to provide FDA license for every product. The third is that cross-border without FDA license is, according to someone, allowed since it's declared as product not for sale and for personal use. But we all know this is not the truth, and even custom officers are perfectly aware of this. Let's say unlicensed cross-border was tolerated and hard to stop, but new technologies now give a good help to regulatory authorities and customs. My suggestion is to get a license for your safety. Shopee and Lazada offer the solution for foreign companies willing to ship out from their country. Shopee has the so-called Shopee International Platform, SIP, that is a program on invitation only, supposedly for sellers with good records already, and there is not warehouse in Thailand. Shopee delivers the product from abroad, and in any case, product must be licensed. Lazada has the Lazada Global Seller Program that is limited to Singaporean companies, and their shipment is as well cross-border. In summary, such programs are not so beneficial since products need to be registered in FDA, so you need in any case a local license holder, and the storage is out of the kingdom, so the shipment is more expensive and takes 3 to 7 days to reach the destination. In case you want to have a physical stock in Thailand, in order to have a physical stock in Thailand, you have of course to clear the custom. Actually, there are no services for retail in free zone or custom bonded areas. The first requirement for custom clearance is FDA license. The consignee must be a Thai company with a proper import license for cosmetic, and every product must have been previously notified to Thai FDA. Product can be imported with or without a label in Thai language, but the label must be applied before putting the product for sale. It's normally advisable to import the product with the final Thai label. The consignee can be your traditional distributor, or your local company or a third-party license holder. If you want to open a company in Thailand, remember that this company must have 51% shares under Thai nationals and that you must rent a suitable warehouse to get the import license. We talk about the warehouse. Did you ever see an FDA accredited warehouse? Let's give a look at this new video.
Hello, สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Siam Trade Warehouse. Here we have the warehouse that follow the requirement of FDA. So right now I can show you our warehouse have now and next we will have for 19 units for supply you. So here we have the requirement from the FDA. Example, the pest control, the fire extinguisher, and then bin, and then right now we have the computer, printer, and we record by the system that the product in and out, so we can control everything and easily know. So now we can show you the first room. This separate for one company. This room we keep the cosmetic. So this I can show you this room we keep the product. We have the warehouse follow the FDA require for the first when you start to have the license and you have the product will come here, so you have this company also have one license for food supplement, then he keep here. We have stock here, control stock for them. How we can do it? We take the product for their warehouse and then we have the packaging. We can package for them and then we have the courier come here to take easily for first for in and out for their product. So we can say about we can control the warehouse everything. And then here the signboard need to have the signboard every room for show about every company, every place they will have the signboard for separate and require from FDA first. If you have the FDA request, if you have the FDA approved, so you can have the import here into Thailand. And then right now I want to show you the room for cosmetic. This customer keep cosmetic with us and also we control the warehouse in and out for them by our system. We want to say about we can support your we suitable for support your every customer. If you want to import to Thailand, you want to have the warehouse, so we have the M3 room for support your one room for one license for one company. So we have enough for support you. Welcome to Siam Trade Warehouse. สวัสดีค่ะ
Now we know our basic requirements, a Thai company or a distributor, and the warehouse where to locate our import license. But as mentioned before, we can avoid such commitment and in phase of startup we can use a third-party service. One, a license holder for product notification and import, and the second is a fulfillment service for storage, pick and pack, and last mile delivery. In Thailand you can find the license holder providing service of fulfillment, like Siam Trade Development. We have been the first company providing the full range of service. But you will not find a fulfillment service providing license holding. Fulfillment companies normally avoid an involvement in regulatory, since for them this is slow and complicated. The structure must be simple, fast and efficient. Let's consider the case of a separate license holder and fulfillment. License holder is your market authorized holder, the only entity authorized to import your product. License holder is your trustee in Thailand and represents you in front of FDA. in front of the custom and the local authorities. License holder import the product for you under his own name and then pass the ownership of the product to other entities. Distributors or shop in case of business to business, consumer in case of e-commerce, that is direct to consumer. If you use a fulfillment center, the ownership of product remains in the hands of license holder. So it's still yours and only left in consignment to the fulfillment center. What you have to pay to use this strategy? You have to pay the transport, you have to pay the custom clearance, you have to pay import tax, the duty, if there is any, referred for this to the first section of this webinar about HS code, and the VAT 7%. In Siam Trade Development, storage is included in license holding fee. Some fulfillment service provide a flat fee for storage, and in some cases, storage is free for big volumes. What is the importer or records fee? First of all, it is a fee for the service. Second is the markup that your importer has to show to revenue department in order to be compliant. It's easy to imagine that an importer buying a product at 100 and selling at 100 must be investigated for possible tax evasion. In any case, importer or records fee is ranging between 2 and 4% of product value. Summarizing, you can sell directly to consumer, getting the full profit, just shortening the supply chain according to this scheme. Instead of leaving the 35-45% of profit to your distributor, you get the full profit by paying a 4% importer of record plus license holding for a maximum cost of around 6%. VAT shall be recovered after the product has been sold. The last benefit of license holding is that licenses are not transferable. This means that if you want to change or simply add a local distributor in the traditional scheme, you have to notify the product again. This is a graphic representation on how the system works. After FDA licensing, product is imported and stored. Then it's sold by e-commerce, packed and delivered to the end user, and the marketing and post-sales are totally controlled by the manufacturer, by you. Payments can be managed by e-wallet, directly by you, or received and transferred later by the license holder. It's quite easy and inexpensive. Just need a bit of organization and starting investment for the license. Well, I know that many of you are regulatory managers. You have questions that I will be happy to answer at the end of the workshop. The cosmetic notification in Thailand is not a mystery. A lot of material is published on many sites with the only limitation that information are often outdated or vague. Let me try to summarize the more important point in the notification process for cosmetic product. In cosmetics, the role of manufacturer is easy. All the risk and the compliance process are borne by registrant, the importer. If you are dealing with the local importer, or you are using a consultant or a third-party representative like a license holder, all you will have to do during notification process is to provide few documents and wait 1 or 2 weeks, provided that your local representative knows the process. What is the documentation you have to provide? Manufacturer must provide a letter of authorization for the importer, authorizing his company to register the product in Thai FDA. Second, manufacturer must provide evidence of ownership of the brand, a trademark registration or a statement from a government institution attesting that the manufacturer is owner of the brand under registration. The document can be issued by any foreign authority, and the trademark registration in Thailand is not a requirement, but is a good idea, because intellectual property in Thailand is seriously protected. In the case of product is made in OEM, the owner of trademark must send a declaration explaining the relationship between the parties, the manufacturer, the marketing authorized holder, and the importer. Manufacturer must provide a quality standard certificate. Here we can see the accepted one, the WHO GMP, Australian GMP, blah blah blah, and the cosmetic GMP, the ISO 22716. The ISO 9001 is not more accepted since October 2021. The ISO certification or any kind of certification must be issued by a recognized international accreditation body. The certificate must also be validated by authorized body. All the certificates and documents must be in English and then can be in PDF. No need to notarize or apostille any documents. After we provided this documentation, we can notify the products. We need, in the order, Thai and English name of the product, the name, the address of the manufacturer, no need a license, the marketing authorization letter that we spoke before, the full formula with 100% of each ingredient, the product description that includes the name of the brand, the use indication, the area of use, the purpose of use, and how to use, the physical appearance of the product, the physical appearance of the primary and the secondary packaging, the product pictures or artwork, and the label copy in Thai language. The label must be submitted at the time of notification. At this stage, the label must be already in Thai language. Basically, FDA approves your label before you see it. After the label is approved, you can print it on a sticker and apply on the external packaging of the product. The label can be modified in graphic and in disposition of the text, but some requirements are stringent. The product name and the brand must be bigger than other text. The label must be readable in every part. Data, ingredients, etc. must match with the one declared in the license. You can label your product after the custom clearance, but normally it's safer and easier to import product already provided with the right label. What about the claims and the commercial name? This is a hot topic in Thailand. Thai FDA gives big relevance to claims and commercial names, with the scope of avoiding misinterpretation of the product by the consumer. A long list of words that cannot be used is published in this manual. There are 438 words that cannot be used at all in commercial name, but this is not everything. Some allowed words have limitations. For example, if we consider massage, the word massage, this use indicates a therapy, so the product can be considered as a drug. But we may write massage in instruction for use, like gently massage on the skin after use. But again, there is a list of 20 common ingredients used in massage products that give a further limitation. And among these products ingredients, we have menta piperita, camphor, and eucalyptus. The sour part of this topic is that even if you strictly follow the indication of this manual, you may fall into a request to change name, claim of your product. In fact, officer discretion in Thai FDA is huge. Every officer may interpret a word with different meaning and block the process, asking for a change or anything else. If this happens, we should accept and change it. We never seen a single case of a request cancelled following our explanation. And the approach of FDA is to help you in designing a compliant product, regardless the need of your marketing department. The good news is that FDA is never obstacling the applicant. Let's go back to our manual. It gives instruction on how to apply for notifications and how to submit. Then it gives direction to all the phases of notification process. It will be beneficial for all the manufacturers, but unfortunately it is only in Thai language. We are considering whether to translate it and publish on our website. The manual also gives the list of claims that can be used and the forbidden ones. Same for claims. Manual publish a list of 32 words that can't be used with some exception. For example, the word burn can be used only in products for lips. Conclusion. In many cases, claims and commercial names must be analyzed and verified before application. Variables, as I said, are multiple, and we can't give you today a recipe that works with every product. The suggestion is to be flexible, patient, and be ready to make changes to your products. Such changes are more frequent in the field of product communication rather than in formula or ingredients. Well, it's all for today. Let's try to summarize all that we said so far. First, Thailand is a big market for cosmetic products, and 35 to 50% of market value is from import. Second, cosmetic market is recovering from pandemic period, and it should be back to 2019 levels at the end of this year. Third, the market changed. Following consumer behavior, e-commerce is booming and will continue to grow. The number 4 is that there are no barriers in imported cosmetic, and manufacturers can access the direct-to-consumer channel that is the more profitable. Then we can say that Thailand is an advanced country in logistics and e-payments. Solutions are multiple and performance is normally good. You can access the consumer market without opening a local unit, a Thai company, in short time and with a small investment. With the right approach and flexibility, Thai FDA is not a barrier. This is of course our point of view, and we are ready to discuss it further with you in the follow-up. Now it's question time. Thank you for joining and for following our webinar.